everyone, I'm Holly. In this video today, I am making a grapefruit scented rainbow soap. Now, I just woke up in the morning and decided I wanted to make a rainbow soap. So I decided just to pull out one of my favorite fragrances and make a super fun rainbow soap. And this is not the beginning of the rainbow extravaganza. That's gonna come just a little bit later. I just love how this soap turned out. It's super pretty and it was exactly what I needed, exactly what I wanted to make. So I hope that you'll enjoy watching this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is add in some coconut milk. And the coconut milk just creates just the most creamy lather. I love it. I love all milks, and the super fat helps to make a creamier soap, but also the sugars in the milks help to boost up the lather. So I'm going to blend that in. And now in with the lye solution. It's just a hint warm still. I think it's going to be all right. Going to blend this to emulsification. I'm going to add in the fragrance oil. It's quite yellow, and I don't think it's going to cause any color issues in the long run. It may, be a little off here at first, but once it saponifies, I think it'll be fine. But, we'll just have to see. I've used this one before, and I don't remember it creating a yellowness. It is a pink grapefruit fragrance oil, and if I remember correctly, it really slowed down the trace. So I thought it would be a good one for working with the rainbow colors. I thought what I would do was just stir it up really well. I'll go ahead and get my colors poured off, or the batter for the colors, and prepare my colors, and then stick blend them just a little bit there at the end. All right, and don't remember how much I need for this batch size. Oh, this is going to be, I better focus on just pouring this one first. I think I gotta go high. There we go. I think I'll pour it to 1.5 and see how that goes. I'd rather just add a little bit more to each one than have to pour it off. Oh, well, I didn't even know I was doing that. Certainly had a little oops there. Jeez. I usually have at least some clue that I'm making a huge mess. All right, well, I will just pour a little bit off. Wow, my goodness gracious. I am just determined to make a huge mess this day. All right, I'm gonna put in some Pow Pow Purple from Mad Micas with a little bit of Snow White, because I do want these a little lightened. I thought that would look really nice. This is Aphrodite. I know this one goes a little bit to a teal, but I still thought it would be a really pretty color. Let's see. I'm kind of going by the colors. I have them laid out, but I also have a plan for how I want them to look on the camera because my particularness is showing up this day. And this may actually still be backwards in the whole scheme of things. I think it is actually backwards to how I thought I wanted it. Oh well. Obviously no big deal. The pink was Voodoo and the orange was Pumpkinhead. This one is Lala with a little bit of Pumpkinhead in it because I found that to be almost like a neon yellow, and then this is Mint Julep. I am just using the one spatula. There was a little bit of like color mixture, but it'll be fine. All right, so I'm going to do, yes, I'm just going to do it this way. That's really nice, but we are coming to a trace, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a blend. I need time to stir each one. I've made a similar design before. I think it was a raspberry lilac one. That is nice and bright. I love it. And then into the green. All right, so this has thickened up quite a bit more than I thought it would. I did take some time to snap a few pictures, but that is still a little bit more than I thought it was going to do. I think what I'm actually going to do is just put in each color and it just kind of be a messy layered rainbow. It's kind of what I was inclined to do. It's probably a good idea since it's getting a little thick like this. Not too bad. I suspect it's not going to get much worse, much thicker. I remember the first time I made this, oh my goodness, it was like so thin. I think it may even be on the channel. If it is, I'll try to add a link to it. And I even decreased what I was using just a little bit. And I'm not even going to move that around. Just going to kind of let it fall in, but I do think I will put some towards the edge, although that all that's doing is pushing the blue, or the blue, just pushing the purple further on the edges. Usually the base color is kind of what ends up moving around quite a bit. Now I might spatula some on. I don't know why I switched to not pouring out the side, but okay. Or the spout. I'm pouring out the side, not the spout. Golly. And see, this is, I got frazzled there for a minute. I was gonna save a little bit for the top. Well, I guess I didn't. I think I'm just going to just go with the flow here. It is what it is. This was a very spontaneous batch. I only thought of it just first thing this morning, so I didn't really think this one over a whole lot. Sometimes those are the most fun for me. I just get inspired to make something. It doesn't have to be super planned out. That's how I soap. I'm more of a spontaneous soap maker. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I always love the colors of purple and blue and green together. This is such a nice, bright, fragrance. Boy, I am just out of it, I guess. Can't talk anyway. Anyway, it's just so nice and bright. So many people love grapefruit. It's one of my daughter's favorite. Now, rainbow is not really her thing. She's a little bit more, she likes like purple and, let's see, she likes purple and teal and blacks together. Those are her favorite. Just a little bit more of a darker colored person. And pink is just a no-go for that girl. She is not a pink girl. She's not a girly girl in general. She's very much into writing and fantasy worlds, dragons, you know, stuff like that. Oh, she's quite the writer. Oh my goodness. This child, I'm very proud of her. And she is a writer. She has written so many different stories at this point. And she also is really good at art and designing. Basically, she illustrates her own stuff. Anywho's, I'm her mom, so I'm obviously have got to be proud of her. I guess my thought process is I love seeing her go a different direction than just like girly, girly, girly. And that's totally fine for the girly girls. But I love seeing her branch out into something a little less stereotypical. This orange is quite potent. I suspect it's gonna fade down a little bit. I haven't used a lot of the Mad Micah's colors, but I'm really starting to get into them. I felt like I wasn't having like super, I don't know, consistent or amazing results, but that was obviously just me because they are super fantastic. I remember when Mad Oils and all that came to be. I used to follow Joanna way back in the day. I remember she was one of them that had a glass lye container explosion. That was really dangerous, and that was like, I was already pretty much on stainless steel for lye solutions, but that really sealed the deal for me. Just wasn't worth using glass for lye solutions. Alright, so we're almost down to the last color here. I'm going to go ahead and clean off these sides so that it is just the pink on top if possible. I love rainbow. I get over it once I do too much, but then it always comes back to me and I'm like, oh, I just love rainbows so much. I was very much into the Lisa Frank stuff when I was a kid. Stirring this soap does help to loosen it up a little bit. Alright, let's see if I can get the top mostly pink. So it needs some around the edges mostly. Alright, so I'll try to just smooth this on without too much popping up, but orange and pink is really beautiful, so it's okay if it does. Like there's a little bit right there. So nice. You know who one of my favorite rainbow artists is right now? It's Sarah Coe Art, and she's in Scotland. He is just so funny. I ordered some sort of, I don't know, it was like a little box set that she made, and that was one of my Christmas presents this year. So fun. All right, let's see if I can smack this down a bit. So there's not much to show here because I forgot to save the soap. But you know what? I think I'm going to like this a lot. And I can see I have quite a bit of air bubbles in this pink layer. So I'm probably going to do some extra smacking here. Just going to see if I can maybe break some of those air bubbles that I'm seeing while giving it a little bit of a texture. I'm so excited about this batch. Oh goodness. These colors are just spectacular. My next batch is a known accelerator, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to do a little bit more of a simple design so that I can abort my plan if needed and still be a great turnout. So I guess I decided I better do this one first so that I wasn't, the next batch I think will be a little simpler actually, just because I don't have to do all the different colors. So let me look at this. I am so excited to see the inside, but I won't for several days for myself. It's Friday, so I probably won't even unmold it until Monday. Alrighty, so it's time to cut this pink grapefruit soap, and I love how it turned out. I'd probably make some tweaks on a next batch, but I absolutely love this pink grapefruit scent. It is just fantastic. I mean, I've always used it, so it's not like I didn't know that already. I really do love this fragrance. Plenty hard. Oh, that's cool. That's a really nice bar. I've already cut 2 loaves and they're over on the curing rack, but wow, that one's a really cool bar. I love that. Those are cool. It got quite thick, as you may remember. So these top colors, the pink and the orange, they were really kind of gloppity. And the yellow kind of has disappeared. Oh, that one's neat. The colors are all kind of what I expected. The orange, I don't know if you can hear that wind, but it's like Wyoming around here today. Can you see how bright that orange is? Now, come on now, that's a pretty perfect orange. So I'm going to be looking at using that as my main orange in my rainbow soaps. These other ones I knew were going to be lighter, and that's totally cool. I am cool with it. It was just a really fun batch, and I'm so glad that I did a little rainbow batch. So pretty. And I've always done different things with the pink grapefruit scent, and I think this rainbow is probably my favorite. I need to clean off a couple of these wires so that I can cut this little piece here. I got one more bar and then some samples. So with the pink and orange getting so thick, if I had really stirred it well and poured from a better height, like higher height I should say, I probably would have gotten a little bit more of what I was going for despite it being so thick. But those are Sometimes I don't think about the whole let's pour really high thing. These colors are fantastic. Fantastic. I'm not talking as I cut because it's actually quite hard already. I did make it quite some time ago and have just not gotten to the filming, cutting portion. Oh, that's funny. It's just like a right there, just a little spot. So I feel like the yellow almost disappeared. Now it didn't really, but it does almost feel like it disappeared in this whole thing. Ooh, this is a neat bar. That's awesome. So overall, super happy with this batch. I just can't get over how good it smells. I love the smell of grapefruit. I'm actually using pink grapefruit from Wholesale Supplies Plus. If you're looking for a really good grapefruit, this is definitely one of the better ones out there to work with. I do remember it being a little bit more easygoing than it was. I remember it reversing trace, so I was a little, show you that one too. I was a little surprised that it got as thick as it did, but you know, there's some things that now I can make notes and I can do it different next time. Some of the things I could do is add a little bit more water to the batch. I could fragrance it more individually than right at the beginning. Now, I'm hoping I remember correctly that that's how I did it. I think I fragranced it and then split off the colors and worked on that. If I would have split it, worked the colors, and then put each one, you know, then the fragrance into each one, we probably would add a little bit more time to work with it. So we just always make adjustments as soap makers, you know. We never have it perfect every single time. That's why we keep good notes. I love just this creamy pink top. I got just a little bit of ash, very little. Now I do better on the ash when I leave it in the mold for, you know, a couple of days. Even better is, you know, 3-4 days if I don't need my molds. A lot of times I'll just let them sit and keep them covered and check them to see if I need to spray it all. And it usually works really well to help prevent the ash. So if I do add more water next time, this one is kind of throwing me off. It's just got a little dollop there on the top. If you add too much water though, it can cause a little bit more problems with the ash. So that could be something that I would face if I increase the water in the batch. There's always something, you know, you do one thing and you get that return. So this was an edge loaf, so you can see how it kind of, you know, poured at an angle. I always admire the people that get like the pours. They're like literally just like straight down drops, because I don't always get that. Ooh, look at this. It's like a Dr. Seuss swirl right there. Now I can see that I do have a little bit of, it's almost like how we can get glycerin rivers in our titanium dioxide. I tend to get that a little bit in some micas. This one quite possibly has titanium dioxide in it. My super particularness is affecting me today, but just leave it. Gonna put it on another tray here in a moment. So some of it's gonna be, you know, more like color waves, and others are gonna be more like drops. That's just how it rolls. Oh, I love rainbows. I love, 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 love rainbows. Somebody asked me the other day if I was going to be having my rainbow extravaganza here soon. Well, I would love to. I haven't made everything. It's not in progress yet. Always something I'm thinking about. But I did think it would be fun just to make a rainbow themed soap without having a whole extravaganza quite yet. Ooh, this bar. So this bar is kind of, it feels misshapen a little bit, a little not exactly, a little rounded here at the corner, but we use a planer and we bevel, and that will, it'll straighten up a bit. I mean, it is soap, it's handcrafted. That's how the whole thing goes. But I'm gonna cut a little sample here. Hopefully I can hold it right. That turned out nice. I don't always break up the big pieces. Might do this one. And then I like to use some of these myself. I'm gonna have a hard time not taking quite a few of these for myself. So here we have, I'm just gonna pick a random one. That's kind of boring. Let's see, let's pick another random one. Oh, that's pretty. So here we have the pink grapefruit soap. I think it turned out spectacularly. I love it, smells amazing, colors are beautiful, and it makes me happy. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.